Hello, good night, and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day.
This afternoon, Governor Everett Harkin-Shogreen announced that the curfew measure has been modified. As of tomorrow, the curfew will begin at 11 p.m.
The Governor Everett Harkin-Shogreen gave an announcement on the modification of the curfew on the island from 11 in the night to 5 in the morning from Monday to Sunday. This measure will be applied starting tomorrow, 1st of June. The Governor stated that the restriction will continue in the pedestrian pathway area.
The restriction in the pedestrian pathway area will be for the agglomerations. No one can be on the pedestrian pathway from 8 p.m. unless they are in a commercial establishment that are included in the exemption and can work before 11 p.m. This is to facilitate the control of the National Police.
Governor Everett Harkin-Shogreen reminds the community of the need to continue implementing self-care and compliance with biosecurity protocols such as the constant use of face masks, social distancing, the application of scheduled by ID card to enter establishment, constant hand washing, and the use of antibacterial help.
And the islands continue to carry high fatality rates, and positive cases are on the rise. Today, there were 6 deaths from COVID-19, according to the daily reports by the National Institute of Health.
6 deaths from COVID-19 were recorded for the department, according to the report at national level. 3 men aged 60, 68, and 74 years, and 3 women aged 34, 60, and 94 years. The archipelago reached 91 deaths due to the coronavirus until this morning. Of these, 195 are active, 192 in San Andres, and 3 in Old Providence. The total number of recovered cases is 5,186, and today 33 new cases are reported, giving a total of 228 active cases. The ICU occupancy is at 72%, 15 beds occupied at the moment and 5 beds available. According to the Secretariat of Health, with the support of the Ministry of Health, patients are being transferred to the interior of the country to improve the capacity of the departmental hospital.
And in other news, the Ministry of Health confirmed that in the country, 9,825,772 vaccines against COVID-19 have already been applied. Here in Teleislas News, we will show you how the national vaccination plan is progressing in the archipelago and how many people have been immunized.
17,203 people have been immunized against COVID-19 in the archipelago. This is according to data from the latest report at the National Vaccination Plan. The departmental government announced that during last Saturday, May 29, a record number of inoculation was reached, where 1,061 doses were applied. The third stage of the vaccination program is running smoothly in the island, where teachers, community mothers, and public force personnel are prioritized. And today, the immunization of people between 50 and 54 years old, as well as 16 to 49 years old with comorbidities began.
We are entering a phase where we are seeking to carry out this mass vaccination. Mass, not to unify the stages, but to reach the assigned population and vaccinate them as soon as possible. Because what we are doing here is saving lives through vaccination. The call of the Ministry of Health is that we continue to take family members over 50, 60, 70 years old who have not been vaccinated to the vaccination points that are currently being carried out to have a greater impact on the community.
People who are between the age range of 50 to 54 years may be vaccinated without appointment. Those who are 16 to 49 years with comorbidities may be immunized if they are prioritized in the application Mi Vacuna. Currently, the department has 2 fixed vaccination points, which are the departmental hospital and the Manawar Park.
And in other news, the National Police achieved 3 arrests over the weekend. The commander of the department announced that these captured will answer for the crimes of homicide, personal injury, and forgery of documents.
The National Police Department announced that during the weekend, 3 captures were achieved, including the capture of a person responsible for the homicide which occurred the day before, whereby injuries with a sharp stabbing weapon, Wilfran Castro Carballo died. The facts were recorded about 3:40 in the morning in the sector of Cinco Esquina.
A very effective cordon of the place was made. A padlock plan was activated immediately, and the aggressor was captured, and even the seizure of the knife that caused the injuries to the victim was achieved. the homicide of Mr. Ronald Ramirez Paternina, 32 years old.
For the commander, this is a regrettable news because the institution have been advancing in containment work in the matter of homicide, and precisely yesterday was the 42nd day in which no homicide were recorded. Likewise, 2 other persons were captured. One of them was wanted by court order for the crime of personal injury. The other was captured for falsification of documents.
One of the arrests corresponds to a person who was being sought by court order for the crime of malicious injury. The person that was captured is Abel Enrique Jimenez Fontalvo, 28 years old, who had a warrant for the crime of personal injury. Likewise, we present the capture of Mr. Alex Antonio Corpus Steele, who is captured in the sector of Loma Barrick, product of a checkpoint that was taking place in that sector where traffic police units read the rights to the captured since this person presented false documentation.
The 3 persons captured were placed at the disposal of the Attorney General office, where they will have to answer for the crimes of homicide, personal injury, and falsification of public documents.
On the other hand, the port captaincy extended an invitation to the community of the archipelago to strictly follow the indications of the entities in charge. Similarly, recommendations were provided and the forecast for this hurricane season was announced. The person in charge of maritime and port security expanded on this information.
Como medidas para tomar el día de mañana que inicie la temporada de huracanes.
As measures to take starting tomorrow, when the hurricane season begins, we should continue to follow the recommendations made by the National Unit of Risk Management, verify the roofs of the houses, the pruning of trees that are near and the sewers, because although tomorrow not all hurricanes, storms, or low temperatures are going to happen, we should be prepared for heavy rainfall.
The lieutenant also gave a record of the atmospheric phenomena that have been forecast for this year.
Recordarles que para este año
To remind you that for this year, we have forecasted, according to the University of Colorado, 17 named storms, 80 days with storms, 8 hurricanes. Total days with hurricanes will be 35 of the category 3, 4, and 5. And then we will have hurricanes of lower category, we will have 4.
The lieutenant indicated that they already have expert and qualified personnel numerical models that predict the swell and the direction of the wind, for which he made a call to the community to follow the recommendations of the Port Captaincy Office.
And the Attorney General's office opened a preliminary inquiry into the alleged departure of an aircraft from the anti-narcotics base of the National Police with a shipment of cocaine hydrochloride. The disciplinary action was initiated after the seizure at the airport in Old Providence of a C-90 aircraft containing a shipment of approximately 446 kilos of cocaine and 102,752,000 pesos. To this end, the Attorney General's office, delegated for the public force and the judicial police, ordered the practice of evidence to establish the circumstances of time, manner, and place of the facts, and to identify the alleged perpetrators or participants in this matter. Teleislas News will be attentive to more information on this matter. And the dialogue table held this past weekend with the fishermen of Camp for Dignity ended with great success. A new meeting will be held at the beginning of June.
With commitments such as summoning the different ministries that did not show up, accelerating government processes, and reviewing the issues of subsidies, among others, the roundtable meeting held in recent days by the Camp for Dignity was carried out.
Yo creo que hemos avanzado, hay que ser muy positivo, nos hizo falta algunos actores.
I think we have made progress. We were missing some of the actors, but a dialogue was established between UNAP and the fishermen, which is very important. The idea is that on the 9th, we can come here with all the instances that are part of the economic reactivation so that fishermen can go back to fishing.
We needed the Ministry of Labor for pension, health and unemployment issues, the Ministry of Housing for all the housing issues. And of course, here with the government and the Secretary of Agriculture, we are going to work on the Fishing Board and the UNAP in everything related to fishing management, the fishing fleet, and the entire production chain.
During the next meeting to be held in 9 days, the topics will be divided into parts.
We've
established a work chronogram divided by topics that we proposed to confirm some commissions and technical secretariat in order to make the respective arrangements.
Issues such as the increase in the fishing fleet and a shipyard were also important.
I think that it can be contemplated, but it is with time. That is to say, it cannot be done all at once because the resources do not exist. As for the shipyard, it seems important to me that they have a shipyard here in the island, certified for fiberglass issues and to be able to repair their boats here.
The next meeting will be held at the Rizal Government Hall on June 9th. It should be clarified that some ministries could not arrive due to the national strike.